It is wet here, Coach, as we welcome you inside CenturyLink Field on a patented rainy afternoon in Seattle, Washington. These folks love their football in Seattle. This was the scene a moment ago as the home squad came out of the tunnel, and it was just absolutely deafening in this building. They're set for football, so are we, as the Seahawks get set to match up with Jameis Winston and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? That'll be taken in the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line.
Let's go.
Ready?
Man, that's trash. That's trash.
On first down, Wilson. That's complete to DK Metcalf. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high power, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
It's a gain of 12, first down Seahawks.
First and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on first and 10.
Check 43. Kill. Turn up. Kill. Turn up. Rush in.
To throw is Wilson. Flush to his right. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. DK Metcalf, his 17th touchdown now on the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. The point after through the raindrops, up and good, and it's now a 7-0 game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Winston and the Bucs take over now, first and 10 at their 25-yard line. The second-year man from USC, this is Ronald Jones. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Brings up second and 7 at the 28-yard line.
The last run got 3. Now here's second and 7. Winston, a handoff. This is Jones. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Only one way to describe Ronald Jones' rookie season with Tampa Bay, and that's disappointing. Drafted to be their lead runner, just 23 carries on a team that ranked 29th in the NFL in rushing.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And he's got a first down and then some at midfield. And finally down at the 36-yard line. That one 28 yards on the ground. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation we were talking about with one of the GMs in the league that's told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
A 3-yard pickup brings up second and 7 at the 33-yard line.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's second and 7.
Here we go. Wait. 53.
They'll try to throw now. Winston. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Enough takes to start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
To throw, Winston. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. Not a good omen there. His first throw of the afternoon intercepted.
And I know what the fans are thinking right now. I hope there's not negative thoughts in his head going forward since that's his first throw of the game. But one of the things I remember about him coming out of school is he's able to wipe things away pretty easily and move on.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 10 yards and a Seattle first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Check 14, 26, 95, 95. 1-5.
They will run with Grant. And he's able to get across midfield and down into Buccaneer territory. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple.
Let's go, D. Let's go.
Here's Wilson. And the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
First and 10 at the 44-yard line.
Now Wilson on first down. Flushed out right. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's the one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
After 7-0 on EA Sports.
Mike 45. It's a party now. Slam. 14.
Wilson now to throw on 3rd down. Escaping the pressure right. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Trying to get away but could not. William Golston. He's the culprit, causes a loss of 5, and it brings up 4th down. They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. He's got Lockett. So not only do they convert on 4th, but they pick up 22 yards in the process. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to hold that one in.
They find some open field here. That gain of 15 gets him on the doorstep, 1st and goal.
And while we're seeing more and more of these plays come from the college game into the NFL, and that one, it was run with great success, how about the evolution of the offensive linemen? We're seeing less and less big guys who can't move and more guys who are a lot more mobile and can get out in front of that type of a play.
Wilson going to fake the give and keep it himself. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Russell Wilson with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. So they've had 2 drives, and he's had the 2 receiving touchdowns.
And how about a game plan where you decide to force feed or feature someone, and it works? First 2 drives, as you noted, end up in touchdown passes. I think they're going to keep going to them until the defense makes any kind of an adjustment.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. On 2nd and 12, Winston. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
He's going to air one out. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Chris Godwin, 77 yards, as they are now on the board here in the first half. They were already down 2 scores early. They needed something to try to stem that tide, and that certainly qualifies. A big play to get them in the end zone.
It qualifies indeed because, let's face it, they don't get something done on this drive, turn it back over, this game could be 88 and out the gate early.
What? 88 and out the gate?
Yeah.
What's that?
Well, listen, I used to hear my old man talk about it. Usually meant that thing's done.
Well, now that they got the touchdown, it's not 88 and out the gate. We still got a good game going ahead of us. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Wilson, it's caught. Lockett. He's exceeded his receiving yards from a week ago, and we're still in the first half. It's a first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme, and you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Throwing on 2nd and 14. Wilson. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
Man, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. Now a pass hauled in downfield and able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. The first down screen pass, good for 5.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on 2nd down. Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4.
Check. Crouch. Check 52. Check.
Now Wilson, eluding the pressure right. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Shaquille Barrett put that sack by his name in the stat sheet. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. 4th down, and out is the all-pro punter from a year ago, Michael Dixon, to punt for Seattle, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. Yikes. Terrible kick headed straight for the sidelines. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team, and that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. A big play there just before halftime. 44 yards. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Now Jones. Not quite the success. They had last play. This one goes for 3 yards.
At the 21-yard line. It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7.
Double dog. Right there.
On 2nd and 7, Winston. Dancing to it, and he's taken down. Trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the 2nd quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. On the left hash, this from 48 yards. And Gay knocks this one through. And that will do it for this first half. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the 2nd half. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the 2nd half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. They'll run on 1st down. Jones. Shaquille Griffin in on the stop defensively. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
Again, it's Jones. It's a 6-yard run, leaves him with about a foot or so here still to go to hit the marker with 3rd down coming up.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
Could be 4-down territory even if they don't get this, but they need just a few inches here on third. They'll try and run for it with Jones. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. From the gun, Winston. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
The throw over the middle taken in. 23 yards the pickup there.
And that was a heck of a shot right there by Jameis Winston. Boy, he has a superior right arm, doesn't he? You saw him play baseball.
Yeah, he's actually a switch hitter in baseball. Outfielder, and then, of course, a very hard-throwing pitcher. That's translated well in the National Football League.
That it has. When he has to make that throw on a line, he's got plenty of arm to do it.
A loss of 2 there, 2nd down. A small bit of adversity here on what's been a strong drive as they come up 2nd and 12. To the air again with Winston. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And they went empty backfield, and because of that, nobody was there to pick up the blitz.
And you know that offenses, when they go with the empty backfield, they have different things designed on every play to try to account for things. But what people often forget, defense is audible as well. And a lot of times when they see an empty backfield, they audible right into a blitzing situation.
Winston needing a big play after the sack as he leads the Bucs up on 3rd and long. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. And it'll be intercepted. Tedrick Thompson picks it. And a great return as they're finally able to take him down. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Corey Grant, 88 yards. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep.
The Bucs take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get them down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. On the counter, here's Jones. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made. And that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. After the run by Jones, here's 1st and 10.
Let him know, let him know. Let him know, let him know. Hey, check 24.
Now a handoff as they run left side. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
On second down, it's Jones. Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
On 3rd down, Winston. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Ezekiel Ansah make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. The Bucs go for it. It's Winston. That's complete to his receiver, Godwin. And unable to break away. They stop him a few yards shy. Bruce Arians takes a shot there, but his guys come up empty. And that will force a turnover on downs. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Check three.
Now Wilson. Flush to his right. Oh, now he'll try and chuck it deep left side. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off at the 12. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line. He violated a big-time no-no in throwing that pick. Rolling right, throwing across his body.
And you know that your dad taught you that in the backyard when you were a tyke.
Yep.
Don't do it.
And Jameis intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 14. And they'll have a short field to work with inside the 15 at the 13-yard line. Charles, there's something special about one of his big D linemen bringing it in off the tip there. Really nice coordination.
Very much so, and I think what we've seen, and I'm going to put it in about the last 5 years, maybe a little bit longer, coaches placing a bigger emphasis on ball drills, even for defensive linemen, because possession is so key. When you got a chance to take one away, you want people comfortable with the football, and it paid off there.
At the 12-yard line.
Check nine. Hey.
On 2nd and 9, Wilson flushed out right. He's going to take off with it. And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. A 12-yard touchdown run. And the Seahawks capitalize on this short field as they take it in for 6. Extra point up and through by Myers. And the lead is up to 18 now. The kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
The Bucs take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Jameis to throw it. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Here's Winston. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down.
54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check. Watch 54. You don't see me. Let's go.
Winston to throw for it on 4th. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 35. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent. And now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
And he'll take this down for about 4 yards, down to the 15. That's a gain of 4 as we slip inside of 4 minutes left in regulation.
2nd and 6 at the 15-yard line.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Let's make this
Wilson escaping the pressure right. He's going to take off with it. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. The rushing numbers for Wilson maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the 1st down. Wilson. Just keep, and time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've got an answer for it.
So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. That time the completion goes for 4 yards, and we're set up with a 3rd and goal.
It's now 3rd and goal.
Front left. Quick dash. Come. Hey, 0. Motion.
On 3rd and goal, Wilson eluding the pressure right. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, we were having a tough patch. This too shall pass, and then finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass, and that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. On 1st down, it's Jones. And just 1 yard here from the 49 to the 50. The Pro Bowler, Muhammad Wilkerson, brings him down. Winston now from the 50. He completes it to Evans. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Winston from the gun on 3rd down. And that will be incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Now Winston. He's got Evans. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. 17 yards on the play and a Buccaneer 1st down. On 1st and 10, Winston. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. Working out of the gun, Winston. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 10-yard line.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point as this one is all but over.
If they use the timeouts here, it's strictly for show. We got a plane to catch.
11 yards there and a 1st down for Seattle. Oh, Wilson going to throw. Flush to his right. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Andrew Adams. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. So the victory here for Seattle. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They picked